Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are bringing you Broly from set 2. This is an interesting deck for me. With him still being a 25k leader, he is still a decent enough leader that I think that it can be played. I don't think he's any longer the best green leader though, that's what I will say. I honestly think, funnily enough, I think Cell is really good into Broly. This is a woeful starting hand. I'll be changing that right off the bat. Broly is still good, don't get me wrong. God, that's just as bad. What just happened? Good lord. Yeah, it's a weird one for me, because, like, I feel that Broly can still be very, very strong. And I actually think that Senjubin Broly's probably the only leader that Senjubin really makes an impact in. But for sure, I just think it's kind of came down a power level just as far as green goes. I think Cell is ridiculously strong. You know, being able to just do that Cell 8 drop turn after turn after turn, you know, once you've got your 8 energy, it's just almost impossible to break down. And then Gohan, well, maybe Broly's still better than Gohan, I would say. I still think Broly's maybe better than Gohan, although the buff that the Gohan got with the Goku ramp card being very, very strong, so obviously that makes quite a difference, and I think that maybe it could be enough to swing it in its favour. Good god, what is going on with this hand? Also, I love this art. This is so nice. I'd love to pull a playset of these. But yeah, I think for sure, I do think Android 17 and 18, this isn't me being biased because, you know, they were my favourite deck or whatever. I just genuinely believe that Android 17 and 18 is now just the best green deck, I think. Okay. God's sake, we are not going to have a turn 3 ramp as this stands. This is going to be so bad for us. See, this is why I think that Gohan kind of has a bit of an edge, because you can run Destructive Strength with the 3-drop Goku, meaning you have 8 targets for a turn 3 ramp now. But we've just bricked. I mean, I know that Broly, consistently, this doesn't happen often, but him jumping ahead like that is really unfortunate for us. Yep, Kamis makes sense. Okay, so we have our turn 4 and our turn 5, so theoretically we use the energy marker here. I really don't want to. Oh god. Okay, so we would stay at 4 if we Vegeta now. We don't have a 3 cost to put in the drop. We'd have to combo 1 misgivingly, which I really don't want to have to do. I don't particularly want to awaken him this turn, just because obviously he's going to charge the 5 and then he would have the leader skill. So if he does get there, it's kind of unfortunate, but no, I don't think we do Vegeta this turn. We'd have consecutive ramps, but we would go from 4 to 4 to then go from 5 to 6, meaning we would go to 7 on the following turn, which I don't think really makes a difference, so I would rather just keep the combo power for now. Not having Destructive Strength turn 3 really sucks. And we'll just go on a drawing spree now, like I can see it already. We're just going to hit like back to back to back Destructive Strengths. I bet the next life I take, I'm going to call it, the next life I take will be a Destructive Strength. We might have to just combo off of Vegeta here, just so we have access to something in the drop. Seems a bit overkill. We could have comboed a 5k, but honestly I want to keep these two. It's funny because the build I've put together is 2 Brolys and 2 cells. We've drawn both the Brolys, so I can't really charge any of them. But Cell and Broly is really strong. Like, I will say that. Once we hit our turn 8, it's unfortunate that we obviously put 3 energy away, but the ability to just gain our life back and kill 2 battle cards, it almost fixes the entire match. Okay, so he's Vegetaing. Does he not run the field? Or has he just not seen the field? We'll take this. No reason not to. So we're going to go from 5 to 6. If I do my math right, yeah. Because he's still not on his Cell turn, I'm tempted to play this instead of Vegeta this turn. Nah, it's not. Of course, I don't. I just. God, I hate this game. I really hate this game sometimes. I think we just have to charge it, honestly. We're just going to Vegeta this turn, right? Yeah. Okay. Do we do the skill? I think we do the skill. We'll pop that Kami just so he doesn't have a free 10k combo on the board, maybe. I don't want to awaken him. There's no point in attacking here because he is just going to get the combo off. I'm kind of happy not awakening either, so we're going to do this skill. We'll pop the 1-drop. We don't care about that anymore. We'll get rid of the Kami. I'm going to swing here. So we have a Senju Bean, which isn't going to be great. It's actually not bad because the next turn we're probably going to play this. And then it leaves the energy open for Senju. We'll just go 20 here. He's going to defend, but I don't care. So the following turn, what do we do here? If he actually attacks into us and gives us our awaken, he might not. He might just do the same as what I've done and just choose not to awaken. That was kind of dumb attacking with that Vegeta, actually, now that I think about it, because we could get to 8 energy on our next turn. There is the possibility I just androids as well next turn and just try and hit him from 5 to 3. Yeah, we're going to take this one. He's on 7, so he could also look to androids. Had we thought that last turn through, maybe we should have actually, instead of Vegetaing, maybe we should have played this. It's iffy, because if he plays androids now, we would have had access to instant Kamehameha. Yeah, I'm fine with this. I don't totally care about that. Yeah. I should have seen that coming. So he is losing an energy for that. That's interesting. Why would you do that? I mean, we're definitely awakening, right? I mean, obviously, because we need the energy. We are going to have to give him a few cards from hand here, which is unfortunate, because it'll be a super combo, a 10k and a 5. We could do this, but we're losing access to our Broly this turn, which I don't want to do, so actually no, we'll keep that. We'll get rid of the Kami, and then we'll get rid of the heal hand as well, I think. And then we can Broly next turn. We pop that android. I think we just charge the Senzu now. The problem is we're not going to get a draw this turn. Because I don't want to give up the energy, because that's an energy marker. We're going to go down to 7, meaning that we go back to 8 on our next turn, so I don't particularly want to instant Kamehameha. So we'll attack. I think we attack here. Yeah, so he doesn't defend it. I can understand why. We kind of had to clear that. He's going to 7 energy next turn, so I'm not particularly worried. We'll hit him twice here. The instant Kamehameha was an interesting one. I don't really know why he did that. He lost his energy, meaning he would have gone to 8 next turn. It's an interesting one. I'm not really sure what happened there. Super combo and a 10k? Excuse me? I mean, I know he's got his leader skill, but I don't really understand this. Okay. It's going to be difficult for us, actually. Defensively, we have nothing. We have no super combos, so if he plays androids again this turn, we're in trouble. Because we'll be on 1 life at that point. No charge. Ah, right. I suppose it does go inactive, but still. Okay, so he's adding back the Kamehameha, which is fine. I'm not taking damage. We just can't afford to. Oh god. Okay, well that kind of makes it a bit more difficult. We don't have a super combo, which means it's going to be a massive investment from hand not to take this. The problem is androids. Like, he's going to go androids for the double strike, and we have no way of healing ourselves again. I think we have to out-combo this. I don't want to use the extra because I want to keep the energy for another Broly. Actually, do we? Maybe we don't. She's 45, so that's 45, and then let's go. It's going to be an interesting challenge, I think. And I think he has this as well. That's why he's... yeah. Okay, maybe not. I thought he was going to pass on 3. These cards, even for 2 energy, are so strong. Like, just being able to add back your extra cards is very, very good. I don't think we can deal 4 damage next turn, you know. If we can get 2 damage through and then we have the androids, but I doubt we're getting both the Broly attacks through. It's a toughie. If we get both Broly attacks through, then obviously we androids and we just full send, right? I don't think we Broly this turn, so I think I'm just going to charge it, honestly. I'd rather keep the androids in hand. We're going to swing both of these first. If we play androids, we can clear that 10k combo off the board, but honestly, again, I just don't think it's going to work. I know that he's got 1 gigantic meteor, plus he has at least 1 Kamehameha. Wait, what? Oh, he did his math wrong. Because that was only a 15k. I think I put a 5 on this, you know. Yeah, he did his math wrong, because that was only a 15k. Because he's only got 5 energy. And now this is a massive investment from hand. And what we can do is we can still androids. Okay, yeah, now I think we do it. So what's the maximum we have, right? So we would do the leader skill to draw a card, but we would have access to, so what would be 65, 80, we'd have 100k plus whatever we draw. And I'm not convinced that's enough. Maybe it is. How many supers is that? 2 supers he used? Or should he ramp them back? Just one super. Yeah, just 1 super, okay. It's a tough one, like, it really is. I still think we do this. I still think we have to, right? The absolute nuts card would be another meteor, but of course not. He can't meteor this turn, so at best, right? I mean, we're talking super combos and stuff. This is the problem with an 8-card hand. It's so doable in green with the Kamehamehas. He's got 2 in drop, and he added 1 back, and I don't think he used it. So we know he's got at least 1. That would be maximum 2, so that'd be 30k from 2 cards, let's say. I say 2 supers as well, so that'd be another 40, so that'd be 70k, so we'd be at 90. He could get out of this so easily. I done my math wrong? Is that 40, 65, 80, 105? Yeah. I think we just have to. We have to go for it. We'll see what happens. I don't think we could out-combo an android play either, with his current hand size. So we've got 105, right? Let's just see what he has. One super, two super, three fucking super combos. There's 110. Yep. So he had all 4 supers. I mean, we can't attack either. I'm not giving him a card in hand. It's not going to matter, because if he has the androids, he just wins. Oh, that sucks. That absolutely sucks. Yeah, he saw all 4 supers because they all wanted energy, which he ramped himself. It depends on if he's not got androids. It depends on what this last life is. We might get out of it. We might not. We'll see. I'm hoping like at least 1 or 2 of them are 8 energy cards. Or even extra cards. Because he's thinking this through when I've got no cards in hand, right? I don't know what he's thinking through. Unless his hand is kind of dead. Because obviously this ramp's inactive, right? Yeah. If you're 500 out, yeah. So, if he has the droids, it's just an easy lead skill androids win. So whatever he's thinking through, but to be fair, we did well to get where we are, with no turn 3 ramp as well. Like, we were a turn behind. The androids really set us back, because we had to, like, super combo and, what, another 2 cards from hand as well. But if he has a Cell Junior in hand, yeah, so we're taking this. But if he has a Cell Junior, the Cell Junior is just going to add back the extra and he wins. I mean, it's a super combo. There's a chance. There's a chance. And he gets to add that card to hand rather than to energy. So I think he's digging for a Cell Junior if he doesn't already have one. So you're telling me there's a chance? I think he'll add it to hand. I don't see why he would add it to energy at this point. Yes! Yes! It's an extra card! Yes! That is ridiculous. Oh, he had nothing in hand. Oh, that was funny. Okay. I'm curious. I want to go back and watch that. I just want to see what happens at the end. Let's go back and watch. I want to see what he had in hand. Does this just skip ahead? Oh no, it doesn't. Bugger. Oh wait, it does. How far does that skip ahead? Does it skip ahead? What the hell does this do? I don't know, we'll hide it, right? We'll see. Actually, we'll reveal both hands. I can't believe he had 3 super combos though. I'd love to see his hand state at the time that we go for that double strike as well. Like, I'm curious to see what he had. Okay, so he had 3 supers by this point. Like, this is what I don't get, is this bit where he used... I suppose he had no 8-drop in hand. I'm gonna look at his list after to see if he even runs 8-drops, but you'd have to assume you draw into one. I'm gonna assume he has 8-drops because, like, when he conceded with 3 cards in hand, I know obviously one of them was the Cell games, but... Also, I want to see the, we're going to go to normal speed when it comes back to my turn. Was it this one? No, it wasn't this one. Right, so, this is his hand state. And this is where he made the mistake, because he's 5 energy. So he's... done that assuming it was a 25, meaning he'd be 45k, and then comboing off the Cell Junior, right? Yeah. So he made a massive blunder on that one. And that would have been the difference maker in the game, and of course it was a super combo. We'll speed up, because I know I took some time here. So we pop the Cell Junior, and then, I mean, like, let's pause, right? So we got 105. So, yeah. So 40, 60, 80, 100, 110. He had exactly the combo power he needed to get out of that attack. I mean, my logic when I went for that, right? When he had 8 cards in hand, there was the possibility that he had 0k combos, right? Between the 8 drops. So I thought it was worth the effort. And I thought even if 2 of them were super combos, and if 2 of them were... you know, like the Kamehamehas, I was like, well, that's 80k between 4 cards, right? So that would leave him 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would be these 4 he'd have left. And I'm like, even if all 4 of them are 10ks, it's so unlikely in green. But obviously it was. But had this not been a 5k, had this been a 10k combo, we would have won. Like, look at his hand. This is what he was dealing with. And he drew a Kami. And then we took the super combo, right? I suppose that I had to Kami, right, to an extent, because he needed the power to get over our leader. And then, yeah, this is what he was dealing with. Those were the 3 cards he had in hand. Oh, it's beautiful. But I'm going to look at his list because I want to know if he runs 8 drops because he saw none of them the whole game. He does as well. He runs 4, but that's quite a weird number, honestly. If you're only running 3 cells, I think you have to up the Broly's to 2, for sure. I don't think I run Broly's at all in my cell list. I just don't think they're needed because of obviously the way that your leader interacts with life, with energy. You know, you're always going back to 8 energy the following turn anyway, pretty much. Yeah, that was a weird one, honestly. But he has 4 8 drops and saw none of them. And he only runs 2 androids as well. But, yeah, it was such a strange game, honestly. Right, well, we'll show you my Broly list anyway, for those who are interested in the Broly. It's kind of similar, so... I choose to run this Goku, right? And I know that a lot of people are dropping this Goku in favour of the Chi-Chi and stuff, but the way I see it, right, is that if I don't open this 3-drop, Chi-Chi does not help me find it. Chi-Chi, at best, will add this card, and then this card will find it. So I would much rather just dig into the deck, for me personally. I think if I do a top 5, and let's say if I don't have any of these in hand, if even 1 or 2 of them are in that top 5 search, I'm never seeing this card, right? And the Chi-Chi only searches for Gokus and Gohans, so you know we run a lot of cards like Vegeta, for example, the androids, or 8-drops, or super combos, or secret rares. All of our extra cards, or Brolys, or cells, like all of this is dead when Chi-Chi does her search. So for me, there's no reason to run Chi-Chi in Broly. I think you run it in Gohan for sure because you've got your ramp card. That 3-cost Goku ramp card is definitely playable in that leader. It's not good in this leader. And I'll stand by that. But we run 4 Kamis just because, once again, it's the best way of stopping Red Self-Awaken. We just play it. We choose one of their 1-drops, which will be the Roshi Self-Awaken, or we kill it, right? That's what we do. And then, at some point, it will be combo power. Probably that turn, to be honest, the turn after. Unless they play hit. If they play hit, this dies. Obviously, we don't get it, but if they don't play hit, if they play the Cauliflower Crit, for example, this is a 10k combo, meaning that we just get out of that attack for nothing, or at least no cards from hand. So that I really like this Kami in green. For me, it's almost a staple across every green deck because you need to stump Topku's early awaken. And the longer they take to awaken, the longer the game state goes, and the better it is for us. But yeah, so that's why it's in there. 4 Vegetas, because again, it's a way of clearing board, it's a way of ramping, it's still our best turn 4 play, honestly, for Broly. Turn 5, or 5 energy, we have access to the Goku. This one is an interesting one for me. With it being 25k, it is a somewhat difficult number for Topku to deal with. I say somewhat difficult. It depends on the board state. If they have multiple Gohans on board, obviously it's dead, it doesn't matter, but depending on the board state, Goku's still the right choice because we get access to our leader skill if we've been forced to awaken early. We also get access to an additional ramp, meaning that we are guaranteed to go on to 8, potentially 9 the following turn, depending on how the energy is stacked up with our leader awakening stuff. 4 of these Gohans, once again, it's a way for us to deal with like Keflas, Gohans, things like that. And it's a 10k combo, and it's a 30k attacker, meaning that we could, for example, you know, kill Kefla and swing 30k into Gohan, or kill Gohan and swing 30k into a Cauliflower that they have on board, for example. Just whatever that situation looks like, we can kill a card and attack for the 10k cushion above. So for me, it's still worth it. And then 3 androids. There is argument to put this at 4 now because I do think it is probably Green's best win condition. But for Broly, because Broly awakens life into energy, the chances of you getting to 8 energy that turn sooner, for me, it warrants running a package like this. That's the way I see it, and I'm not running a 4th of these without cutting one of these, because we run a lot of 0Ks, right? We've got a secret rare. Right now we run 8 0K combos plus all of these extra cards. You saw what happened there during that match where I kind of got caught out with my cards in hand, and it can get worse. So for me, I'm fine with this. I still run Heal Hand just because it's a way to play it. It's a way to gain life back. In the slower matchups, in the Topku matchup, this card is just dead pretty much. Like, if you're gaining a life back and swinging a 35k, if you're not killing their battle cards every turn to keep their aggression down, this is just, it's not going to work, right? Like I say, Secret Rare, 4 super combos. We run 2 cells because I honestly love this card. I think even in Broly, it's not the opening play you want to do. So for 8 energy, I would much rather do the Broly, for example. Depending on board state, I'd much rather do the Broly, just clear the board. They build up the board again, we defend, and then we sell. We kill 2 of their battle cards, and potentially we have access to these 2 still. Meaning that we've got 3 45k attackers, and yes, we're on 5 energy, but the following turn we have access to the double strike. And that, for me, is the important part. So that is kind of why I went for these ratios. 2 Kamehamehas, again, you could run this at 3. I'm not really too sure on this one, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. And then 4 Gigantic Meteors, because honestly, it's still the best extra card in green. It's so good. And then we run 2 Senju. I'll come back to Senju in a minute, and then we run 4 Destructive Strength. So, Senju Bean for me is interesting. I was terrified of this card during my reveals, right? I thought that in Broly, this card would be absolutely stupid. That's not the case. And the reason it's not the case is because of your sort of curve on energy. So you obviously go from 3 to 5, you then go from 5 to essentially 7 on the following turn. I'm doing this by following turns. You go from 3 to 4, but then you charge to 5, and then realistically, your best play is either Vegeta to clear their board and gain a ramp, or it's to use this to gain a ramp, and then we have access to Kamehamehas and stuff and our leader skill for free at that point without it costing energy. But you're never going to hit your curve, right? Okay, so the thing about this is that you're going to go from essentially 5 to 7, but your leader awaken gets you to that 8th. In every other green deck, this makes a little bit more sense, but you're only 20k leaders, meaning you're only going to 25k. That in top coup is nothing. That number just it's just an irrelevant number, right? So I'm possibly going to cut Senzu. I thought that for the top coup match it would make sense, but honestly it still doesn't. Even on curve, I don't see how Senzu Bean's going to come into play until we hit that 7 energy point. And if we're on 7 energy and we haven't awakened, then yes, we have access to it, but for me it's still iffy. The only reason I would play this, right, is if I'm on 7 energy, I tap 5 for the Goku, I go up to 7. I'm on 7 energy. Sorry, get myself confused. We tap 5, we go into Gohan, kill one of the battle cards, we attack the board, whatever, right? But on the following turn, if we can Senzu and then we awaken, obviously our leader becomes 30k for the turn at that point, and we are then at 8 energy. Going into 9 on our turn, but the likelihood of you getting to 7 energy and still being unawakened against top coup it's not going to happen, right? You have to just shotgun your hand if you're going to defend constantly to make this play viable, and it's just not worth it. So the Senzu Beans are likely going to get cut. The more I think about it, I think I'm going to cut the Senzu Beans. I don't know what I'm going to up on my ratios. I don't know what I would change, honestly. I don't think I would put in any more 0k combos. I would have to find a card that makes sense for it. Maybe we up this by 1 and maybe we up this by 1. Maybe that's how we do it. So we go up to 3 and up to 3. Maybe that's the right play, but I think that Senzu Bean, I was initially terrified of it, but you're essentially giving up your turn. The only way, again, that makes sense is even if we're on... It still doesn't add up, because if we're on 5 energy, if we Vegeta, the only way this makes sense is if we use Destructive Strength multiple times a game, or we do it while we're on 5 energy, and then we leave the energy up for this. It's such a niche card, and it's so difficult to find the right pocket for Senzu Bean, that I don't know if it warrants getting cut entirely. I might do some more testing with it. I might actually play with some friends, and when you play the ranked ladder, you get an assortment of leaders until you get the higher ranks. I'm assuming it's all top coup, but I've kind of been taking my time. I only really play this game while I record videos. But I think that's kind of what's going to happen, is until I see the top coup match, we're not going to know how relevant the Senzu Bean is. And honestly, ramping with Destructive Strength and then keeping energy open for Senzu Bean might just be the better defensive play. And it means that we chip away at their hand, because that's the big issue with top coup, is their hand size is just always massive, but it means that they have to combo to deal damage to a leader, or they're just going to build a board and pass, which is, honestly, if I'm top coup, I build a board and pass. I don't even try and swing through Senzu Bean, because they know that at best I'm going to kill 2 of their battle cards, but if they're all inactive, there's nothing I can do about the rest. And that's only if I play Cell or if I play Androids, right? So it's a weird one. It really is a weird one. I would much rather, if I'm top coup, I Kefla into the 3-drop Kefla, just keep my hand size up, keep the board pressure up, and it means that even if I can clear a couple of their cards, they're still sitting fine. So yeah, it's a weird one. Honestly, if you play against an experienced player, I think Senzu Bean is going to do more harm than good. Because I personally, if I'm playing top coup, I just wouldn't take the Senzu Bean challenge. I would just keep building my boards. They can only clear so much. And yeah, if I have 4 or 5 battle cards on board that are all threats to the leader, like I can only clear 2 of them at most, and then the following turn I'm going to build another 2 or 3. So yeah, it's an interesting one. It is difficult, but for me, yeah, the more I'm thinking about it and the more I'm just speaking out loud, I think that Senzu needs to get cut. So I think that that's maybe the ratio as we go 3 and 3 here instead. There might be a card I'm forgetting about. I cut the Trunks and Gohan package mainly because, honestly, the amount of times I've played that package in any leader, I haven't actually seen it. I've seen the cards, I just haven't seen them side by side. And not seeing them side by side is enough reason to cut it. The Gohan's good for clearing board every turn, but again, it's clearable. It's removable in Topku. So I don't know. I don't think you'd run that, and I don't think Senjubine's the way to go. So, but again, this is the whole point of this, right? We test, we find the right ratios, and then we play off of that, right? And that's how we're going to build Broly. I still think Broly is a decent green leader for sure. Aggro has always been Green's biggest weakness. And I genuinely think that Red's aggro will force you, unless you out combo quite a few of their attacks, and then once you're at 5-6 energy and stuff, then you maybe look to awaken. That still hurts, but it's honestly the only way that I can see this deck being played, because I think that they can put out enough aggression that if you're out comboing all of their attacks, you know, by the time you get to 8 energy, you're going to be like 4 cards in hand, and they're just going to ignore your board, and they're just going to keep attacking your leader, and you're not going to be able to withstand the pressure. So it's a really tough decision, it really is. But again, I loved Broly from set 1. I had a bit of a while where I played Broly where I didn't really understand the leader, but I kind of figured it out a while ago, and honestly, Broly just feels so good in set 1. Of course it did. It was just the best deck of the meta, I think. And yeah, I think that this set, Broly's taken a bit of a hit. There wasn't really any significant buffs to the deck. And I think that Gohan got more buffs, but with it being a 20k leader, it's inherently worse in that sense because it can't deal with aggro, because any 20k attack gets through, right? And it means cards from hand constantly. And then when you look at androids, I think that androids are in a very unique position where they ramp so fast and so quick, and they actually field attackers when they do it. We can attack their board at the same time. So I think for me, Android 17 and 18, if I was to do a green tier list, and I'm air quoting this, I would put androids at the top, and then I'd probably put in order behind it. It would probably be Gohan, Cell, and then Broly. Maybe Gohan, Broly, and Cell. I don't know. I've not tested enough with Cell to know how relevant it is. That player there did not show the deck at all. That was a really weird build, and you know, making the mistakes he did, which obviously led us to the victory, it showed you that it was just an inexperienced player. So we're not going to take that at face value, but we'll do some more testing. But I genuinely think that as far as Broly goes, if you're at the top end of the ladder and you're trying to climb, you can't play green. I honestly believe that you can't play Broly. You can maybe get away with playing the androids, but I still don't think so. I think unless you're playing Topku or Blue, I'd probably see either Vegeta or Zamasu mainly. For me, Zamasu is a monster. It was so underestimated. I'm going to redo a tier list probably in the next week, and you'll see how I feel about Zamasu going into this set. But yeah, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I know that it's been quite a long video. It's gone over 40 minutes. But as always, I appreciate everybody watching these videos, everybody commenting. It's, you know, the love recently has been amazing. The channel views as well have been great. I can't thank you all enough. I love interacting with you guys. You know, most of the comments are so positive, so it's just good. Even if it's just questions around, you know, why I'm playing what I'm playing, or deck suggestions, they always help. They always help me refine my decks as well, so it's always very, very helpful. So, but guys, as always, if you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.